Yo, what's up, guys? We hit the score.
Fucking jackpot.
Big score. And definitely not what you're expecting. That's for sure.
And not what we expected either.
Well, as you can see, it's a shitload of inventory that we have right here. This is the first batch that we ended up buying. So we usually go to outlets. We go to Adidas outlets. We hit them, you know, I don't know.
Weekly.
Once. I was about to say maybe 1 to 2 times a week usually. But yeah, at least weekly. And we got word that it was 60% off. So we were like, oh shit, we have to go. This was our first batch that we ended up buying. We've been hitting it a couple more times, obviously. We bought hundreds of pairs. The first buy, which is this, we bought 200 pairs, right? 220 pairs.
I think it was a little over 2.
Give or take.
We bought some clothes and stuff too. That's why.
But we wanted to record it and kind of show you guys that this is the move. Like, if you're going into reselling, this is, in my opinion, in our opinions, what you should be going for. Because Jordans, Nikes, Dunks, not that there's no resell.
OG Yeezys.
Retail. Like, shit like, yeah. It's not even that there's no resell. The profit margins are so slim to the point where it's like, why would you want to spend that much money to make 5-10% back? Some people are spending $220 to flip a shoe for $230, $240 sometimes, and it's like, why are you doing that?
When you could buy a shoe for 10 and sell for 40.
Yeah. So most of the time when we hit the outlets, I feel like the discounts are like 40 to 50% off, but hitting that 60% off helps a lot.
Plus the markdown.
The markdowns, the 60% off, it all helps out, and it pretty much brings down the value to all this shit. I feel like the average cost that we had here was like $15 to $20.
It was 10, remember?
It was $10? I thought it was like 15 to 20.
It was like $2,000 for all this shit.
$2,000 for all this stuff. If you turn around, it's also that stuff right there.
Oh, we opened up a bag or two, excluding the hats.
This stuff right here too. It's not going to be really anything that you're going to be like, whoa, holy shit, I can't believe they paid $10 for that. But it's going to be things that you're going to see that we can easily flip for 30 shit, 40 shit, 50 shit. We can sell it at the flea market. We can sell it over here. Like, it doesn't matter where we ended up selling it. It's as long as that we get it as cheap as we can, that we can do literally anything with it. Like, almost everybody knows what an NMD is. AK. However, there's a really good chance that we probably paid like $7 for this.
We could tell them that later though, when they actually have prices.
We can go back through it. Most of the kids' shoes, we were around like $7 to $10 for them. Men's, we were around like $15 to $25 for them. So everything varies. So we just wanted to kind of show you guys a glimpse of what we ended up stacking on. Because of course, when you go into an Adidas store, there's thousands and thousands of shoes. We're only walking out with 200 pairs. These are the pairs that we were assuming that we're going to make 100%, 200% profit margins on. So we kind of wanted to show you what we look out for and how easy it is for us to kind of go into a store and just get all this shit. Because there's a bunch of bulk buyers that go into Adidas outlets. And when we were buying, there were other bulk buyers there. And most of them were leaving with like 30, 40 pairs at most.
Yeah, they were confused.
And it's not like we beat them to it and we already had like 100, 150 on the side. Most of them look confused, like Jay said. All we did was just make sure that, all right, cool. It hits the cost that we got to be at. Hammer it down. Let's go find the rest and just buy everything. So we'll try to dig deep into this because obviously it's going to take us a while. It's going to take us a minute to go through, but glad you guys are here with us and we're going to show you guys a little bit of what we got.
Making a little dent. What's it been, like 30, 40 minutes?
Barely though. We've been just pretty much sorting everything out, just seeing what platform it's going to go on.
Well, we also got to check size,
I was about to
SKU,
say that, yeah.
condition. Sometimes they be giving us some cooked stuff. Sometimes people try stuff on too much and we got to wipe them down.
And we got to clean them up a little bit.
This is our pile for eBay / the flea market if it doesn't move too well on eBay. Because we're pretty sure it's really cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Then what you got? A pile for goat.
I got a pile for goat over here. A couple cool things that we have.
Oh, not that pile. My bad.
No, just this right here. Just for now. Certain things that we know that will move a little better on GOAT than eBay. And if honestly, most of the time it is kind of half and half. It's like, if it sells on eBay, it'll sell on, you know, if it sells on GOAT, it can sell on eBay. But if it sells on eBay, there's a good chance it might not sell on GOAT. If that makes sense. I don't know if you understand that. There's a lot of things that we've tried to fucking put on.
I think the point is everything sells on eBay and only certain things sell on GOAT.
That sounds a little better.
But the thing about GOAT is it's less work. So if we could sell it there and make around the same money, it's going there.
It's too easy because all we got to do is just check size and SKU, make sure the box is good.
Drop it off.
Send it in. So this is pretty much one of the SKUs that we've been buying for the past, like, I feel like 2-3 years now. One of the weird ones that we buy from Adidas, the ones that start with the O's. The Ozelias, the Oswegos. Like,
Oh, it is the era of the O's.
the era of the O's.
They used to all sit there and be trash.
Exactly. Nobody liked them until they actually started making cool colorways. I wonder if a celebrity possibly wore them.
I feel like Kylie or someone wore an Oswego back in the day.
Maybe. That beats me though. So this is one of the pairs that we ended up finding that we probably paid around whatever. I know Jay will probably put it in there. I would say probably around $20. Gonna put it up for like $60, $49 payout. Not too shabby to make $25 on it after taxes and fees. And all reliable. NMDs. NMDs always do well, whether it's on eBay or Go.
They used to do better though.
Oh man, we used to get at least like $80 to $100. For
$130 retail,
NMDs.
we'd get $100 payouts all day, any colorway.
I remember when we used to just pay the 50% off the retail. So then they'd come out to plus the
65.
extra discount, they would be like 56.
Yeah, 56 to 58.
Yeah,
somewhere in between there.
We pay around $60 sometimes.
And we get like 100 for them.
Easily. As soon as we saw an NMD on the wall, we'd be like, like we got to just clear that whole thing out. Every single time that we got it. Now it's like, it's cool if we find, we find the ones or twos of these NMDs because it's
$30 bucks.
Yeah, because now we might get, I don't know, 60 to 80 shipped most of the time for like an NMD. And on fucking Go, I feel like sometimes there's one SKU that we get like 30 to 35 on right now, but we paid dirt cheap for that. But something like this, we're probably going to get at minimum $50, at maximum 65, because it's clean. Super clean. This is another one of like the random NMDs that Adidas usually makes now, like the NMD S1s,
The
R1s.
premiums.
R1s are the usual ones that we see, like that one. But then there's S1, there's G1, I think there's W1. It's dumb shit. But regardless of that, stuff like this usually does well on Goat.
They're ugly though.
They're ugly.
The thing about these on Goat is what's the retail from Adidas? It's like 2 something, right? Isn't it like 230?
That says 181.
Oh shit.
So I don't know how much we paid for it,
I thought that said $80.
but there's a possibility
I'll put the price right here.
that I'm gonna guess though, $35 to $40.
You're probably wrong. I'd
I
guess
think
$50. But either way,
Got a biggie bag. So this is a funny one that you would never really expect. These pairs we used to fucking hammer down. Check out the SKUs. I don't even have to look at them. It's
hold up.
here. I can just say
Shaky.
without looking at it. F35 206 and DB
Oh, I didn't get the
3603.
box.
DB 3603. Black gum, white gum. We used to sell these like fucking hotcakes, and out of nowhere, I feel like last year, we went from selling them to like 50 to 60 all day. We used to get $40 for them at the flea market, and on on Go, we were selling them for around like $30. We got a couple more here and there from the outlets, and we were selling them for like $50, $60. So again,
And the flip side,
they're back up there.
we used to get them
For
for
like
15 to $25 all day long,
24,
which is why that 40 to 60 payout was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And now we can't touch them for what? Under 30? Under under 30. Under $40 we can't touch them.
If I'm not mistaken, Jared's gonna put the price again. I'm gonna guess $12 for each one. But to show
That's
you what it
probably
looks
right.
like, obviously, I'll never forget the first time we saw this shit too, and we were just like, "What the fuck is that?" And we saw one bulk buyer just grabbing it, and we're like, "I just grabbing bullshit." And then I think Jared's the one that looked it up, and he was just like, "Yo, there's money in that. Like this actually sells." And it's like, who the fuck would buy this? Millions of people, obviously.
Yeah. Also, they were 70 retail. I think now they're 90 if you go to Foot Locker. That's why we can't really touch them for under like 40, $45. So for the $40 payout, we're not gonna lose $5.
And if you're paying $90 for these, God bless you.
Also, comment down below. How's the new mic sound?
Hopefully
This is the first video with the new mic. Y'all have been complaining.
Comment
I've been
below.
complaining. He's been complaining. We'll
Jelly,
figure it out.
tell us how our audio is now.
Oh, homie Jelly, let us know. You're the only one that watches the videos fully.
This is another one. These were classic.
Oh my god, we used to.
These first came out in 84 or 85 or whenever the fuck it came out.
We should have storage units of this.
We were making a living off this shoe. Whether they were all black, all white, white and black,
Men's, women's, kids.
whatever collabs, M&M's, Grinch, whatever the fuck it was. It doesn't matter what it was. We were selling these like hotcakes. Every single time we saw a form, same thing like the NMDs. Yank that shit off. Now we see it and it's like, ugh, like at that price, like we don't want to pay $50 for that. That's disgusting. Like we wouldn't pay that much.
We used to pay 30 all day, 35 at most.
Again, Jared's probably gonna put the price up for this one because these are cool. Look up the prices though. You'll see on Go, they're fairly low. If you're able to find these cheap, shit, and you don't want to sell them on Go, and you know what the price is, if you can pay $15, $20 for them, hit us up. We buy all the time. But if you want to sell them yourself, I think they sell for like $40, like, I don't know, $40, $45 now. That's why.
Depends on the size. I saw some for like 55, 60.
Again,
But size 13 ain't gonna move. So
we used to buy them online for $40, and we used to hammer 100 pairs. Then I ended up finding them for $32, hammered down on them. Once we saw these in outlets, I was like, oh, fuck that. I don't want these anymore. Because we were making like $10 on each pair, which isn't too bad when you pay $32 and make $10 on. What is that, 33%? Like almost 33%?
a little under.
Yeah, so it's not too bad to make that, but the boxes are huge. It takes up a lot of space, and I'd rather put that money into something that we're going to make at least an extra like $20, $30 on. This was another pair. We just started getting into these. I guess this is the time of Adidas retro and shit like this.
This is Chris's new form.
Yeah, this is the new one.
Yeah.
This is the new one that we've been
shit.
testing out.
They've been going pretty good though, because we're getting these now for in the low 30s, and we're getting for these in the mid 50s to like low 60s, which is kind of the same margin as we used to get on those. So it's just a reverse. You gotta find a new SKU.
And that's what I was literally about to say. We were making a living off NMDs, and if we only stuck to NMDs, we'd be working 9 to 5 jobs right now. Like, there's no way that we can sustain a business with just getting that certain SKU. So it's all about just testing everything else. You got to look into what you can get as cheap as you can and what you can sell online and what would sell as fast as it can.
They're clean. They basically look like forms without the strap, right? It's a form without the strap.
I was about to say where the hell the lace is. I don't know why it comes like that. But again, this is a pair that, like I said, that was re-retroed. It says 86 on it, so you got to assume that shit came out pretty much 40 years ago that they're bringing back. But it's clean. I like it. So far, it's a little batch for
What's the price? I'm gonna put it right here.
22, 23.
That sounds about right. I think there was one SKU of these though that I did pay like almost 40 for because they were selling for like 85. Ship.
Yeah. I mean, that's always going to be...
So it might have been those.
That's going to be your handy-dandy tool, is always making sure that you check your apps, your comps, like the eBay sales, the GOAT sales. Everything's pretty much right in front of you. Your StockX sales. All you got to do is just make sure that if there's sales, you check that price. If somebody's asking some dummy price, like $80, and you got this pair for $15, sell it for $40, sell it for $50. Make your $20, $30 fucking dollars. Keep it moving. So we're going to keep going through this stuff.
We'll be back when we're finished.
For sure. We are done over here. We put everything in the sheet. Everything's accounted for. Of course, we got overcharged for a couple things, but it is what it is. Comes with the business of shopping at retail.
What a headache.
I know.
Putting them in one by one. Oh my God. We got the highlights right here, right? Little variety of what we have, kind of what we bought. So we're going to start with this one. We bought this style before. We didn't buy this color before, right?
Nah, so we bought a black and white one.
That's what it's called. It's called the Adidas Adios. It's like
Adi0.
It's like one of their mid-range, I guess, running shoes, right?
I would say so.
This one we paid up for. We paid almost $55 for these before taxes. We typically get like 90 to 100 shipped. So there's not too much money there, but after fees and shipping, I think we're gonna make $25, right?
Yeah, and this is a realm that we recently got into of running shoes, and this is
my boy behind the camera.
There's no carbon plates, but they do have those carbon, whatever the hell you call those, in them, and it's a pretty good shoe. I train in that one, so
and the best part
I like
was, like we always say, quantity. We got 7 pairs of these, so if we make $25 times 7, you can do the math. It's like $200.
Close, but yeah.
Yeah, 175. So the next one we got, you can see the SKU right here. You guys can look it up, do your own research.
If you look it up, you might not find anything. But
this one, you're not going to find anything. I'm just saying, you can look it up on Adidas, see what the price is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a clean kid's shoe. I know
when we looked it up in the store, we couldn't find any sales. I just looked it up before we started recording again. No sales. I don't think they'll even sell on eBay. We have a couple listed, but who knows what's going to happen. We don't really care. The problem is, not the problem. The reason we bought them is because they're $3.74. If we can't get rid of these for a profit, we're going to retire.
And plus, we usually sell at the flea market as well. And that being technically a kid's 5, a men's 5, that's a woman's 6.
Yeah. It'd be a stretch, but he'll try. Well, maybe we'll make a video on him trying to do that.
Nah, you guys will see in the flea market.
We don't really like the Sourceville flea market, but when it's that cheap, and we already know our worst case scenario is going to the flea market, we can get $10 for that all day. Probably 20 though. All right, here's another one. Damn, pay attention, bro.
I was looking away.
He was telling you about the adult ones of these. Oh no, you were talking about Swift Runs. This is a different shoe.
XPLR.
This is another shoe though, similar to Swift Runs. We used to eat on, but like we always passed on these. What an ugly shoe, crappy quality. But this is the kids version because we can't find the adult versions for cheap anymore.
Which it's a women's size 6.
No, it's not. We paid $8.49 for these. What a steal! They literally sell on eBay for 40 to 50 shipped all day long. And worst case, like we said, $9 at the flea market for a woman's 6. We'll get $25 for these all day.
Easily.
And that's a giveaway price too, because if the men's sizes are around $70, $80, pretty sure these kids retail around 60.
And it's something what people are always looking for. Not only is it a name brand like Adidas, but it is a triple black.
Triple
so
black, clean.
Easy. But real quick, not to cut off Jay.
Cameo.
Swift Runs are cool, but if Swift Run 22s, this is a terrible shoe. It really is. Not only is the quality bad, sales wise, it's terrible. This shoe just sucks, in my opinion. Why we bought it, I'm not too sure, but we probably paid little to nothing for it. And if we didn't, shit, we probably got to return that.
I'll add it right here. So the next shoe, it's the skew. These we, I think bought for the first time at the last Adidas sale when they did 4 for $100 shoes, and we wound up getting for like $27 after taxes. But it's a Stan Smith Deluxe. I've never seen these at the outlet before this year. The quality is butter. Like they could charge $300 for these to get away with murder. This was a what's that shoe?
McQueen.
Yeah, Alexander McQueen. They'd get it all day. It's basically like an Adidas version of that. These we paid up for as well. I think we paid $35.
I think these are nicer than the McQueens as well.
Yeah, it was a little bit less. We paid $33.99, and they don't have a lot of sales on eBay. They don't have a lot of listings. There's no sales on Go. But for $34, someone's gonna buy these for $80, $90 plus shipping. That's a guarantee because we had other colorways, same concept, no sales, no listings. We threw them up. Chris didn't think they were gonna sell. I think we left a couple because we
definitely did.
He was stopping me, but they all sold first before any of the other shit we have from that sale.
They went quick. They did go.
It was a surprise though. I didn't know. I was just on a hunch. But these we have in the OG box. This is a no OG box.
Stan Smith.
But we got these dirt cheap because I don't know. Stan Smiths with like collabs, they either do really great or really bad. I'd definitely say the character's dope for that, but it's definitely not the nicest. What's it called? It's not the nicest execution on this shoe. Like it's weird. It's fucking ugly.
Yeah.
He's such a dope character too. But this one too, paid $14. Can't really pass on that. I think we'll get 40 plus shipping, 50 plus shipping. There's listings for like 100, 110. I don't know. Maybe we'll get a little bit more, but definitely we're gonna double up on this. We sent it to Go if it had the box.
It's a no-brainer too. Disney collab, Stan Smith, Adidas shoe. It's a good size. Yeah. Can't pass up on that.
Actually, I wrote down we'd get 75 plus shipping. So
I don't think so. Because on Go, I think we have them down to like 50, 60 bucks.
I don't know. That's what I saw on sales. I put a comp up.
But it could be. And this was a funny one that I pointed out before.
I didn't look this one up.
This one, no clue, but
it's like a water shoe slide.
It is $3.50.
Oh. You can't even get a coffee for $3.50. Actually, isn't that a large coffee?
My Americano costs more than that. That is insane to get something like that. I know it's not a shoe. It's more of like a sandal, obviously. But $3.50 for an Adidas shoe. Oh my God. What a steal. Those are usually, though, once in a blue moon. You don't really find these as often. If we did, we'd be millionaires.
You just can't pass up on them.
We'd be copping hundreds of them if we could. But that's why you always got to go to your outlets and start searching up whatever and asking for prices, because sometimes the prices are wrong. Most of these don't really have the prices anymore because I've been yanking them off, but I know Jared usually forgets. Like that one right there. But regardless, when it looks like something so odd and there's like a one-off, I usually just ask for the price.
Next shoe. These we've had like a dozen pairs. I just looked up. I think the last one we sold was 40 shipped. We paid like $16. It's not the biggest profit, but we'll still get like 30 after fees.
Double up.
Yeah, it's a quick sale too. It depends on the size. We might get more, might get less. We'll see. Worst case, we'll go to the flea market for $35, $30. We'll still double up. This one's not a huge money maker. I think we paid 17. We paid 16 and change, a little almost $17. But we sell these all day. 50, 60 shipped, depending on the size.
Hotcakes.
With, without the box, doesn't matter. People at the flea market beg us to bring these back, but we sell them for $30 and they never get them for $30 again.
Yeah.
Because 60 shipped is a 45, 50 payout for us. Like, depending where they live. If it costs us $6-7 to ship, sometimes 10, depending if they're in Cali. But they weigh nothing, so it's a movie. If we got 100 pairs of these, I'd buy them all. But we got one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yo, for our next shoe, these are kind of clean. Again, it's another shoe that had no sales data, has no sales on GOAT. I don't even think I found a listing for this one, but this is in. Anything with the bold sole, the thick sole, women love. And it's a kid size, so you know how Chris is going to sell it. It's going to be a 5.5 is a 6.5 women's.
Yes, sir.
But they're $12. So there's really no losing at that price. You can't pass up on clean shoes, original silhouettes. And for that price, anything under, any like 5 kids and up, and any woman size under what, $20 we were taking. Any kid size under 15 we were taking, and any toddler under 10 we took. It's kind of like a no-brainer price. This is another weird silhouette that Adidas runs. And we used to always pass on them, but we bought them one time and they did pretty well for us. These we are going to get around 70 plus shipping, which is kind of weird because it's like a, I don't know, it's not the most appealing looking shoe.
It's not, but it's a shoe with Boost. It does look somewhat comfortable. And that shoe in different colorways we've sold on eBay and GOAT. So look out for this specific style just because I feel like this is super slept on. Might take a while to sell. However, not a bad shoe.
Yeah, and the best part, $15.29. So at that price, once again, can't really lose.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it to the flea market. Worst case, get $35 for it. Put that money into something else. Make this disappear. And that's it, yo. We can go through every shoe. This video will be 6 hours long. We're not going to do it. Appreciate y'all watching, and deuces.
Peace.